You think you're doing everything right. You pay your rent, you cover your bills, and you even put a little bit into your savings account at the end of every single month. But at 45, 50, or 60, you look at your balance and wonder, why isn't there more? The truth isn't that you're bad at math. It's that there is a silent, invisible expense currently eating your future alive, and most people don't even realize they're paying it until it's far too late to fix it. We call it the lifestyle creep. Think of it as an invisible tax on your ambition. Every time you get a raise or a promotion, what's the first thing you do? You don't save it. You don't invest it. You upgrade your life. A slightly better car, a nicer apartment in a better neighborhood, that new phone you didn't need, or those subscription services that have started to stack up. You think you're rewarding yourself for your hard work. But in reality, you are trading your long-term freedom for short-term convenience. Let's break down the math, because this is where the damage happens. Take that $5 daily specialty coffee. To you, it's just a treat. But over 30 years, if you'd invested that same money into an S&P 500 index fund with an average 8% return, that's not just a coffee, that is roughly $50,000 to $70,000. Now, apply that same logic to your car payments, your premium, cable packages, and those clothes you wear once. You aren't just buying products, you are buying shorter retirements and more years spent working for someone else. You are literally paying for your own confinement. This isn't just about coffee. Let's talk about the luxury illusion. We live in an era where everyone is performing success on social media. You see appear by a new luxury vehicle, and suddenly, your perfectly functional car feels like a relic. You feel the social pressure to keep up. But that peer? They are likely drowning in high-interest debt just to maintain a status symbol. When you buy a $50,000 car, you aren't just paying $50,000. You are paying the opportunity cost of what that money could have been in 20 years. If that $50,000 was invested, it could have doubled or tripled. By choosing the car, you are effectively paying $150,000 for a depreciating asset. It gets worse. Consider the housing trap. You get a promotion, so you move to a larger apartment. Your rent increases by $500 a month. That $500 represents $6,000 per year in post-tax income. To have that extra $6,000, you actually had to earn closer to $8,000 before taxes. You are working an extra month every single year just to pay for an extra bedroom you probably don't use. Now, let's look at the hidden subscription model. It's not just about streaming. It's about the convenience economy. Food delivery, ride-sharing, premium memberships, and convenience fees, they are designed to be frictionless. They remove the pain of paying. When you click order, you aren't thinking about the $15 delivery fee. But if you do that 3 times a week, that's nearly $2,500 a year. That's a vacation, an emergency fund, or a significant contribution to your retirement account that simply vanished into the ether of convenience. So, how do we stop the bleeding? You need a millionaire's daily audit. First, the subscription purge. Go through your last 3 months of bank statements. Look for the small, recurring charges. If you haven't used a service in 30 days, cancel it immediately. You will be shocked at how much money leaks out through forgotten memberships. Second, the 24-hour rule. For any purchase over $50, wait 24 hours. Do not buy it the moment you see it. Most of these impulse upgrades disappear the moment you give your brain time to reset and realize you don't actually need them. Third, pay your future first. Automate your investments. If you move the money into your brokerage account the second your paycheck hits, you never see it. It never hits your checking account, and therefore, you never creep your lifestyle to include it. Fourth, understand the threshold of happiness. Research shows that once your basic needs are met and you have a small cushion for emergencies, additional spending has diminishing returns on your actual happiness. You are chasing a high that fades within days of every purchase. Fifth, track your net worth, not your budget. Most people focus on what they are spending, but they lose sight of the bigger picture. When you track your net worth, your assets minus your liabilities, every dollar you save becomes a point on a scoreboard. It turns saving into a game, rather than a punishment. Sixth, redefine value. Before every purchase, ask yourself, how many hours of my life did I have to trade to earn this? If a gadget costs $200 and you make $25 an hour, that's 8 hours of your life. Is the gadget worth a full day of your existence? When you view spending as a trade of your limited time, the invisible expenses suddenly become very visible. Seventh, identify your trigger spending. Does stress make you shop? Does boredom make you scroll through apps? Identify the emotional trigger that leads to your spending habits. Once you recognize the emotional pattern, you can break the loop. Eighth, optimize your high-frequency costs. You don't have to cut everything. Focus on the big three: housing, transportation, and food. If you can optimize those, you don't have to worry about the $5 coffees. House hacking, buying reliable used cars, and meal prepping are the high-leverage moves that provide the most significant return on your effort. Ninth, create a freedom fund. Instead of saving for nothing or retirement, label your savings account as your freedom fund. Give your money a purpose. When you are saving for freedom, you are far more likely to resist the temptation to spend it on something trivial. 10th, master the debt avalanche. If you have high-interest debt, that is the single biggest, invisible expense of all. The interest payments are literally setting your potential wealth on fire. Direct every extra dollar toward the highest interest debt first. It is the highest guaranteed return you will ever get on your money. 11th, learn to love boring money. True wealth is built on boring, consistent actions. It's not about finding the next big stock or crypto moonshot. It's about boring, automatic, consistent contributions to low-cost index funds. If you find your finance journey boring, you are probably doing it right. If it's exciting, you are probably gambling. 12th, guard your time capital. Time is your most valuable asset. The only reason to save money is to buy back your time. Every time you spend, ask if that money is stealing time from your future self. 13th, build an anti-budget. Instead of obsessing over every penny, set your savings goal first, then spend the rest guilt-free. This shifts your focus from restriction to prioritization. You aren't cutting back, you are intentionally allocating your resources toward what actually matters to you. 14th, stop competing with people you don't like. Most people spend money to impress people who don't care about them, with money they don't have. Once you opt out of the social competition, you find you have thousands of dollars left over every year. 15th, focus on income expansion alongside cost cutting. Yes, cutting costs is vital, but there is a floor to how much you can save. There is no ceiling to how much you can earn. Once you have your spending under control, pivot your energy to increasing your income through side hustles, skill building, or career growth. The secret the banks don't want you to calculate is this: if you can just pause your lifestyle growth for 5 years, just 5 years, while your income continues to rise, the compounding effect is explosive. You stop being a consumer and start being an owner. You gain the ability to choose your work, not be forced into it. You stop trading your time for money and start buying back your time. It's not about living like a monk. It's about being deliberate. It's about knowing exactly where your wealth is going instead of wondering where it went. If you want to retire before your hair turns gray, you have to kill the invisible expenses before they kill your wealth. The next move is yours. If you want to know exactly how to scale your wealth using the same Millionaire's Daily Audit I use, check out my next video. Stop working for your money, and start making your money work for you. See you in the next one.